we're back. Welcome to Is It Worth It? We are your hosts. I'm Joe. Zach is sitting right next to me, and we have a very, very special show for you today because we have a guest, our very own Mr. Bradley. Say hi to the folks, Bradley.
What's up, everybody?
So just to give everybody a heads up that's listening, Brad and Joe are actually sharing a mic, so when they pass it back and forth, you'll know. You'll know by their sweet velvety voices who's changing it.
Very sweet.
But, you know. All right, Joe. So Joe's all pissy today already.
No, I'm not.
He's in a terrible mood. So let's just address this first, and then we can go on with the podcast. So, Joe, are you mad that Bradley was initially sitting in your seat, or that you felt like you were being replaced in the podcast?
It was that he was in my seat.
Okay. So now, instead, we have a compromise here. They're sitting on a sweet, lovely
Love
seat.
And my hand is on his knee.
Not my knee, Bradley's knee. And it's thigh, actually.
And his face looks not happy.
For the record, it's upper thigh, and my face is really not happy. Now it's crotch, and my face is less happy.
See,
He is lying about the last part.
well, we don't know that because we don't have eyes on us right now.
He was lying.
Okay, so
whoever's listening to this, he was lying.
So, Joe, why are you a grumpy old man today?
I'm not a grumpy old man.
No, that's not true. So, there are days where you're grumpier than others, and I can tell you're in a bad mood today. We don't have to flesh it out here, but can you at least admit that you're in a grumpier mood than normal
No,
today?
I'm in a great mood.
That's a lie. Okay.
He's
Anyway,
in a shitty mood.
we can tell. And we're trying to get Denny's after this with Bradley, our wonderful, sexy guest. And Joe wants to go to bed. Granted, he's got to wake up at 6 in the morning. Okay. But where we are, it's 9 o'clock.
But it's going to be 10 o'clock by the time we go.
We'll see. Let's see how quick we can make this. Anyway, this week, well, let's do a quick recap. Last week, we talked about anti-heroes. Some of the greatest all time. The people that are the worst, but we love to root for them because we don't care. Because they're like us. Okay? This week, we got something special in store for you. Obviously, we have Bradley here. Okay? But we're going to talk, and this is actually going to be a fun game that Joe and I can play. Bradley was trying to go see the Joker with us on Monday.
Joker.
Okay, just Joker. There is no the. That's fair, Joe. I'll give you that. He was trying to see Joker with us on Monday and got horribly lost.
Horribly. Would you like to tell us about that, Bradley?
Couldn't find his way. Go ahead.
Let me tell you all about it. So, for a little context here, I had to get off work early to go see Joker. So I was invested in this. I leave work early, but apparently not early enough. Because I realize it's going to take me a good 15 minutes to get down the highway, get to the movie theater, and I leave with about 8 minutes to spare.
Ugh.
After getting out of the parking lot, finding my way out, I've got 5 minutes. Speeding down the highway, cruising, get off the highway. I'm looking for this mall with the movie theater in it, right? I go too far, I have to take a U-turn. That takes me an extra 5 minutes. Come back around, finally get into the mall complex. I'm like, where the frick am I? So I decide after cruising around this mall parking lot with all, crazy bitches just flying around.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking walking around. I'm talking flying around. It's a mall, dude. You know what I'm talking about?
No, like witches. Yeah. Because it's Halloween. We're getting Halloween.
Yeah, I said bitches,
They were
but I meant
literally
witches.
Which one?
He meant witches. Boo, Joe.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, Joe's bad with puns.
Yeah, yes.
If you guys haven't already caught on
they
to that.
know. Yeah.
So I finally get in the mall complex, right? And I decide, okay, I'm just going to park my car somewhere and, go it on foot. So I park in this, behind this store in the darkest, creepiest part of the mall.
So you were looking to get raped?
Well, that was kind of my hope, but not necessarily my intention.
Yeah, sure.
So I start walking around. 10 minutes later, I realize I'm walking in a circle. And that's when I realize I'm just an idiot. Some would say a fuck up. I think that's a fair statement. But long story short, I've been talking about this way too long.
Those words came out of Joe's mouth furiously.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I heard him screaming it all the way over from, however far away I was from the movie theater.
Of course.
And I decided to go back to my car, which I finally make it to, and go home and eat some. Can anyone guess?
Mac and cheese.
Eggs.
Mac and cheese for the win.
W.
And that's my story.
And a great story it was, B-Rad.
Here's Joe's podcast voice again, everybody. It's my favorite.
No, B-Rad is what we call Bradley now.
Oh, nope.
Not once has Joe called me that in my entire life.
Nope. This is a podcast
Exclusive.
All right. So this is going to be a fun game, though, that we can play real quick. We're going to talk about the Joker, but we're going to make it completely spoiler-free. We're going to find a way to where Bradley doesn't actually know anything about the movie at this point, okay? Which is fantastic. But this kind of brings about what we want to talk about for the entire episode, which is which actors in movies that we've seen completely stole the show, okay? So, where better to start than with the Joker? Okay.
Nowhere.
Yeah. Who do you, all right. So give me a brief. No, you know what? Just give me what you give it out of 10 first. I'll do that, and then we can talk a little bit about it.
Well, probably an 8.5 because I'm not going to give it a rookie score.
Yeah.
But probably an 8.5. I liked it. I mean, I'm not like a movie connoisseur.
You also don't like superhero movies.
No, I don't
much.
like, but it wasn't a superhero movie, which I liked.
Yeah.
It was pretty real. I mean, the Joker's like, he did some fucked up stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool to see him just shoot a bunch of people and sort of get crazier as the movie went on. And that's what you fucking deserve. Spoilers.
Yeah. So I would probably give it an 8.5 also.
Copycat.
I think I'm a pretty harsh critic when it comes to movies. Like, I like a lot of movies. There aren't a lot of movies that I would say are bad movies. But to get a 9 in my book, you have to be really, really good. Like, I probably can only
The
think
Dark Knight?
Yeah. Dark Knight gets a 9. But, like, there are a lot of movies that would fit in, like, the 8.5 category for me. I can only think of maybe 2 movies that would be 10 out of 10s for me.
What would those be?
I mean, The Godfather 2 specifically is a 10 out of 10 movie. I think it's better than the first. And, oh, man. A second one. See, I'm a really big fan. Bless you, Joe. Of, it was all the pepper you were just shaking a second ago. I'm a really big fan of Inception and Interstellar. So I would probably say Interstellar's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Just because I'm super into like space and all that type of stuff.
And you also love Leo in Inception. So
yeah, love Leo, and I'm a big Matthew McConaughey fan too.
Yeah.
So those movies are really top tier for me.
sort of like Olympus Has Fallen for me, you know.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, Joe's big. Yeah, Bradley, I know. That face, Bradley's face right now, because you can't see it, he's very concerned at Joe's like 10 out of 10 pick being Olympus Has Fallen.
9 out of 10.
Okay. 9 out of 10. Okay, that's fair. Go ahead, Bradley.
So do you have a 10 out of 10, Joe? Because we're talking about 10 out of 10 movies right now. And you just gave us a 9 out of 10, so I feel like you got to explain yourself, at least.
Yeah, my 10 out of 10 is probably The Two Towers. And that's probably it.
Really?
Yeah.
How about Pulp?
And Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I was
And
going to
Pulp
say,
Fiction,
you're
yeah.
missing out on a big one.
Yeah,
there,
Pulp
'cause
Fiction's a good one.
Joe's a huge Pulp Fiction fan. How many times have you seen that movie?
15 maybe?
Yeah,
10 or 15.
at least.
Yeah.
So, back to my review of the Joker then. I would say 8.5 out of 10. Obviously, this podcast episode, we're talking about actors or actresses that completely stole the show. Joaquin Phoenix clearly is the best. I mean, the whole thing is centered around him.
You watch
to
it
begin
and you
with.
realize like he's a genius. Like he's just
Oh, he's a method actor.
yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
No one. I mean, the other actors are good, but like
Sure.
there's no other main character in the movie. I mean, there's his mom, and there's some side characters, but
Yeah.
he's what the movie's about. I mean, it revolves around him. There's no side plots or anything else going on. It's you want to see how crazy he gets.
I mean, there are. I disagree a little bit. There are some side plots, like the thing with his mom, and like the whole Thomas Wayne thing.
Sure.
And then with like his job and like those people that he worked with and stuff like that, and then the lady down the hall, like, so there are like,
well,
but
I
they
mean,
aren't like
there aren't
main
side plots that don't involve him. I mean,
Sure.
he's the one character who matters.
Yeah. Sorry, I almost sneezed.
Okay,
I thought
he's
about it
making
for a
some weird gestures at me, like like do stuff. I'm like, what are you talking?
Yeah,
about?
Joe doesn't know how to improv.
No, I don't know how to improv.
So
Which reminds me of another great character to
no, I'm not done yet.
yeah, but just remind me of that later.
Okay, all right, Bradley, remind him. This is your critical role right now. Okay,
B-Rad's critical role.
yeah. So I think one of the craziest things, I've been like scrolling through Instagram and whatnot, and I've seen a bunch of things about Joaquin Phoenix improvising a lot of things in the movie.
In that movie?
Yes.
Okay.
So the scene right after he does the first terrible thing, okay, where he goes in that bathroom, okay? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Yeah. So there he ends up like the scene where he's dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. That was all improv. Apparently, after he does that first terrible thing, he's supposed to go in the bathroom, throw up, splash his face with water, and look at himself in the mirror, and then be like laughing,
Right.
Like how he laughs throughout.
Yeah,
the film
I thought you were
whatever.
talking about something else. I get what you're saying now.
No. Yeah. So he completely improv that thing. One of the directors or writers of the script was talking to someone about it and saying that he told Joaquin before the scene that he had this piece of music that he was going to play over that scene. And Joaquin said, okay, just play it. And the coolest part about this is whoever that guy is and Joaquin, for that scene specifically, because it's in a bathroom, there's like 250 people on this set, okay?
Yeah.
They are the only two people in this room right now. So no one else knows that the entire scene has been improv'd, okay? When he's done with the scene and they walk out, the guy that was in there filming it goes, yeah, that's the scene.
Oh, I see what you mean.
That's what we're keeping.
Yeah.
Like that was the first take, that was everything, and he completely improv'd the whole thing. And everybody was like, yep, we're keeping that. So I'm kind of curious, like, as it comes further down the road, how many of these different scenes throughout the movie he actually improv'd.
Probably.
When you're that big of an actor, probably a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that there's to an extent, like everything has some sort of improv when you're that
Sure.
good of an actor. I mean,
Sure.
You're taking the script and you're taking stuff you're supposed to do and you're sort of building on it because you're smart enough to just be able to realize what's going to work. So I mean, if you're a good actor, I think you're probably not just reading off a script. You know, you're changing it based off what you know works.
Yeah. I think that was probably one of the most crucial scenes too. So to know that he improv that, because he was trying to be the character at that point.
Right.
He was trying to think.
Right. Not like Heath Ledger.
No. Like he was like straight up, I need to be, because, you know, again, he's a method actor. He's like, I need to be this crazy person. And I need to understand how this act makes him even crazier.
Hopefully he doesn't die of a drug overdose.
Yeah, no. I mean, if Joaquin Phoenix hasn't died of a drug overdose yet, he probably won't. Because that guy's been crazy for like 15 years.
Really?
So, yeah. That's fair, Bradley. So, I guess, what were your favorite scenes without giving away too much? I think you can go ahead first, and then I'll say.
I think probably the one where he's standing on top of the car.
Yeah. Right at the end.
Yeah. Without giving any more away, and
Yeah.
He just sort of becomes the Joker, and he soaks it in. I think sort of how I interpreted that was everyone was trying to use him as like a political symbol,
Sure.
and he didn't give a shit about that.
No, not at all.
He likes the chaos. If you know the Joker, the Joker's just about chaos, and he's realizing he doesn't give a shit about the class warfare and the poor going up against the rich and the rich
doesn't give a
fighting
shit
back.
about any of that.
That's not what he's about. He's about everyone's fighting and everyone hates each other, and he realizes in the midst of this chaos, he's just rising up and really in his element, and that's where he's basically on the height of his game, and you realize like what the Joker is and what he's caused.
Yeah. Give me another one real quick, and then I'll give you two.
I think just because I really liked the scene, probably the one with the midget, and you know what I'm talking about, where you think something's gonna happen, and you're sort of on the edge of your seat for the whole one. And I guess you're sort of on the edge of your seat because he does such a good job of selling an unpredictable character, where you're like, well, he could do this, but he could switch it around in an instant, and you really don't know what's gonna happen, and that's because of Phoenix.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that scene in particular is probably one of the bigger ones that stood out to me. I also think the Fight Club-esque scene. Do you know what I'm talking about? When he's at the where was he? I don't know if he was at the bedside of his mom, but when he realizes that Bradley, close your ears for this part.
I see what you mean. I think
when the person.
Right, I think that was when he was in that person's. That was when he was in that person's apartment.
Oh yeah. Where that's a good point.
And that's when the audience realizes it. Yes. I don't know when he realizes what he realizes, because I think to him in his mind.
Do you think he killed her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But did he kill
probably.
Did he kill a kid?
I don't know.
I think that's the stuff you leave in the air because you don't.
You don't necessarily have to show
it's not
that.
important to have a body count for him. You know he's capable of killing people.
That's a really good point.
And know who he's going to kill when he wants, and when he doesn't want to, he's not going to.
Yeah. And I think the other scene that I really liked was when he was on the talk show.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the apex of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's the climax.
Where he's just explaining this is
why
finally
I am
here's
what I
this
am.
guy, this incel who's has nothing, and Bradley likes that I brought that into it. But you have this guy who's like nobody's ever listened to him because he lives alone with his mom, and now he finally has a platform to just spout off all his crazy shit, his terrible life, the weird ideas he has that probably have some semblance of truth to them, in a weird, messed up way.
Just not on the extreme spectrum.
Right.
He takes it.
And that's just such a cool part. Yeah. Bradley, do you have thoughts?
I was just going to say, I mean, like all the media takes that I've seen.
I was just going to bring that up. I was curious.
Have like focused on that aspect. You know, whether like they're conservative or like left wing or whatever, or like neither. They all focus on that whole political aspect of like incel. And I also just wanted to say that Joe confessed to me recently that he didn't know the term incel.
Oh, I have no idea what that means. Can you explain
until 2 days ago. Well, Joe just learned, so I'm going to hand the mic over to him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the audience might not know either, so this is a good
according
time.
To Urban Dictionary, it's a young male, usually a white male, who is celibate not by choice.
Oh, okay.
Hence, involuntary celibate. Involuntary celibate, incel.
Get it.
Going back to sort of what Bradley spoke about, because that was something I meant to bring up.
Yeah.
If you've been seeing all the media headlines about it, you see how, there's police and security because they're really afraid that somebody's going to copy this. And it seems to me like the media really wants somebody to go out and copy it. Like, they really want some shooter to go on this crazed rampage like the Joker. And of course that's not going to happen. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that because...
Well, I don't know, of course.
It hasn't yet. I mean, it seems...
I mean, we pray it doesn't happen.
No, absolutely. You definitely don't want that to happen. But it seems like they're egging it on. They're like, people might do this. People might do this. People might do this.
And that's the same type of shit that they do when there's like a school shooter or something, or like a mass murder. Like when that Vegas shooting shit happened, they plastered the guy's face all over the media.
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Why? Because then you are making it seem like, hey, I'll get my 15 minutes of fame if I do this.
Somebody who's depressed enough or just thinks they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, they're like, I might as well just go to jail for the rest of my life.
I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to have literally every media outlet in the country wondering why did he do that for a few months or a few weeks until the next person does it.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think the media is really trying to blow this out of proportion, but that's what the media does best, it feels
Yes.
like. Either side.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to blow things out of proportion because that's what fills your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay? That gets you your bottom line. My thing is so I can see part of their perspective after actually seeing the movie. Okay? Because obviously him being an anti-hero, which we just talked about last week,
2 weeks ago.
You partially are rooting for him because it's like, okay, people have treated him like shit forever. Like, he has a right to be able to push back, but then I feel like they separated enough in the film though to where you can be like, holy shit, this guy is literally crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't anything good about what he's doing.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They're not like glorifying it as like, hey,
no.
this is what you should do. People are trying to compare this to reality, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's a DC comic.
Well, not only that, but then like you see the riots and whatnot that happen in the movie, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if people are going to be inspired by this movie to do riots, they were probably extremists to begin with and would have done that without this movie.
And
They just
people
want
are already
they just
doing it
want
without the movie.
Yeah.
There are already riots and
course.
stuff like that. I mean, a movie is not going to change that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. So we both give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Apparently they aren't going to have the Joker in the new Batman movie.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
Me too. Yeah, I'm really glad they did this as like a one-off.
And I mean, if we're being honest, like, Joaquin Phoenix is 44 or 40.
First off, go ahead, Bradley.
Joaquin Phoenix. All right, take two.
Is it Joaquin Phoenix?
All right, this is ridiculous. Let's keep moving on, shall we?
Let me.
The actor who's in Joker.
So Joaquin Phoenix. Go ahead, Joe. Keep
Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay, just keep going.
Is 44 or 45 years old.
Is he?
And yeah, he's born in 1974. In that movie, he sees the young Bruce Wayne, which is not a spoiler. I mean, that's sort of out there.
Yeah. That's
and the Bruce Wayne at that point is a kid. I mean, he's 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So I feel like that wouldn't work to have that timeline. It has to be sort
no,
of
because then the Joker would have to be like in his 60s when Batman's like a thing.
Yeah, and if you look at The Dark Knight, I mean, Bruce Wayne was at that point like in his 30s, probably 36.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger was 29 when he died, so he was even younger than Batman.
Yeah. Which I'm kind of curious as to what they'll do with the Batman movies at this point. I am thankful that they made this to where it was like a one-off type thing, but I would have really liked to have where Batman and Joker were going at it.
Didn't they have that though in the last Batman, and it sucked?
What do you mean in the last Batman?
Like the Ben Affleck Batman?
Joker wasn't in that.
They didn't have. Then what was Jared Leto in?
That was Suicide Squad.
I'm sure
Batman wasn't in that.
But they've been in.
No,
they haven't been.
Not
together?
since Heath Ledger. No.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you don't watch any superhero movies.
So yeah, Joe doesn't know what he's talking about. I'll take the lead on this one. But I don't know. I liked that they had like the whole pretense of Gotham City before it like fell into all of this depravity type of thing, and then like kind of showing how it happened, and then they'll probably like go into that with Batman.
I think that I feel like it wasn't like Gotham City was by no means a perfect place. It reminded me of basically 1970s or 1980s New York, which is just falling apart basically. It was already pretty fucked up before Joker came on the scene.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, is that it was, and they hinted that throughout the entire movie that it's getting crazier out there.
Okay. I see what you mean.
And then when the Joker comes in, he brings it to a completely different level.
Okay. That makes
where they're trying to set you up for what Gotham will look like and the reason that Batman had to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like a regular city like New York where it's
it is.
It's supposed to be kind of, but it's not. It's way worse.
Okay.
It's supposed to be way worse. So they needed somebody outside of the law to actually deal with these people. So, but I did kind of like that story arc because that sets it up perfectly for. And I don't know if this universe is going to be connected with Batman at all, or if they're just going to completely make it separate. Overall, I really liked the movie. I would have really liked Batman and Joker together again. That's my only thing.
Yeah.
Is,
I think that the fact that the movie was not about Batman was cool. So I appreciated that because
they did a really good job for not making it about Batman.
Yeah. And I feel like when it's a superhero movie, which this was not a superhero movie.
No.
When it's a superhero movie, it's a little bit more light, especially when you're talking about Batman because like he saves the day at the end and there's a happy ending.
Well, I mean, Batman's also the darkest superhero.
That would be
like
Green Arrow, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Batman.
Yeah, agree to disagree. But
Okay.
the fact that it was not a superhero movie, I think, helped it. Sort of just the serious nature of it.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's a good time to transition, though, to...
Becoming a woman.
Nope. No thanks. Yeah. Yep. Perfect, Bradley. Yep. Bradley's making a lot of gestures that I don't want to repeat. Yeah, that too, I guess. So we say Joaquin Phoenix stole the show, obviously.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anybody else that could have stole it for him anyway. No. Now, I think it would be good to bring up movies that we have seen where there have been decently known actors in it, but there was one person in particular that stole the show. Okay?
Yeah.
You said that you had a couple.
I had a couple. They're not really ensemble films. They're more...
How about we just go like you do one, then I'll do
yeah.
one, and then you do one, and I'll do one. How about that? And then Bradley, if you got anything, go ahead and jump right in if you want.
I would say my first... I'm going to go with two because they're similar, very similar in a way. They're really the same category.
Sure.
The first is I Am Legend.
Okay.
And Book of Eli.
Okay.
In that they're both basically movies about the end of the world, the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And you know from the start it's going to be a one-man show with Will Smith in I Am Legend and then Denzel Washington in Book of Eli. And they make you care. They're both badass characters.
Of course.
And you just sort of feel, I think what they do a good job is they make you feel their pain.
Yeah.
With Will Smith.
Oh, with the dog scene.
With the dog and the daughter and the family. You just feel for him, this guy who's had a family before and he lost it.
Yeah.
And he feels responsible. He feels like the weight of the world is literally on his shoulders.
Totally agree. Right.
And then in Book of Eli with sort of different, but Denzel Washington, you learn at the end it's not a spoiler because if you haven't seen this movie, you probably aren't going to.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh. So
no, but go ahead. I know what the ending is. Though.
His basically his goal in life was to get this Bible to a library where it could be preserved because it was the last Bible in the world.
Yeah.
And you just sort of see like there's one part of the movie where he's offered like an attractive woman and this warlord is like, do what you want, like, you know, you can have this woman for the night, obviously with the implication being, you know, and he's just so focused on his mission and he just doesn't want
that's
not what he wants. That's not, even though it wouldn't really affect his mission that much, he's just so single-mindedly focused that he turns it down and he turns down basically anything that he might enjoy or that he could get pleasure out of, whether it's money or women or an easier voyage, because he's just so concerned. He just has this one mission in mind, which is to preserve this Bible.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I have a handful, but I'll start with one in particular that I think is a little bit of a hot take, and one of the newer things that we've seen was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
I really feel like Brad Pitt stole that one. I love Leo. Probably my favorite actor.
You love Leo a lot, yeah.
Probably my favorite actor of all time. And he did a lot of acting in that movie for sure. And I thought he did an incredible job. But Brad Pitt, in the way that he portrays his character and how he kind of has to be kind of melancholy, it felt, throughout most of the movie. He's kind of like a deadbeat at this point. Lives in a
Kind of a
trailer.
failure.
Yeah, total failure. He acts like one and is basically Leo's bitch in the movie. Like, does whatever for him.
Eats whatever it is microwaved, like bean or canned beans or
Makes
whatever.
mac and cheese and then scoops out his dog's food that's in a container.
Sort of
or
life
whatever.
has passed him by,
Yeah,
and
and
his
like,
best days are definitely behind him.
He's like in his 40s at this point. And there's the one scene where he's like reminiscing about like beating up Bruce Lee or whatever.
Probably the highlight of his life. Yeah,
which was a pretty cool scene.
Right.
But I felt like a lot of people might say that character was more overlooked and overshadowed by like Leo. But I feel like there was a lot more in that movie that dealt with Brad Pitt than it did with Leo.
I think I disagree with you there in that I feel like Brad Pitt is supposed to be the standout character, because I agree with you. Like he's the guy you look at, and he definitely did steal the show. I mean, he's the guy who you care about because you're intrigued.
Oh
by
yeah,
him.
I care about him more than I care about Leo.
Yeah, Leo's a great character in that movie, but
he just seems more like a prissy. Like,
I feel like that's intentional.
I'm a celebrity and I'm not cool anymore.
And I mean, we've
care.
heard that story about the prissy celebrity who's was famous back in the day and is now a C or D list movie star. We've heard that a bunch of times, and that story has been told throughout cinema history.
Yeah.
But you don't hear about the sidekick.
Nope. You don't hear about the stunt double.
Right.
You don't hear about that guy.
Right.
Or what he has to put up with. So I just thought it was fascinating that Tarantino decided to go with that route, where it was kind of like the shadow character was the main character.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. He doesn't normally do that. But it was interesting that we got to see that type of a take. So I think Brad stole the show on that one. All right, real quick though, before we get to
Bradley
the next
have
session.
One?
Huh?
Bradley have one? Nothing? Okay. He's shaking his head no. So.
Oh, no. We're going to you still got time. What we're doing now is the sponsor, real quick.
All right.
Okay. So, eToro is sponsoring this show, which they did last time as well. Basically, if you guys weren't here last time to hear about it, it's a social trading platform with a super clean, simple interface. Joe and I talked about how, especially in today's day and age, the simpler the better.
Yeah.
No one wants to overcomplicate their life.
No. Simplify your life.
Well, I mean, especially Joe. Joe is the type of person that he hates change. So he also likes when things are simpler. So they currently have 14 different coins that you can trade, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, and Zcash, and a bunch more. That's just the short list, basically. So what's cool about this is that it follows real-time market trends. So I know I personally invest in the stock market. So I'll sit on, a different app throughout the day looking up how my stocks are doing, whether I want to trade, buy, sell, whatever it might be. Okay. This app does the same exact thing, which means you can buy, sell, trade, whatever you want in real time. The fun part is when you actually download it, you'll get 100,000 free virtual money on the account. Okay. This is one of those fun things that you can do with your friends where you can all get the app and see who can make the most money in like a week. I know some of the guys around here have been trying to do that type of thing, and let's just say some are better than others. Another cool thing about eToro is that they've been innovating since 2007, and they already have 10 million users. You heard that number right. 10 million.
10 million?
10 million.
Wow.
That's a ridiculous number.
That's
if
more
I'm being
listeners than our
honest.
podcast has.
Oh, yeah. Only by a couple, though.
Yeah.
We're probably pretty close to 10 million. That's just a crazy number to me. And that this company's been around since 2007. That's huge. So, UMeandBTC.com/trade. And I'll give you that one more time. YMB and BTC.com/trade.
You ever watch the movie You, Me, and Dupree?
No.
Now that is a fantastic fucking movie.
What is it?
So it's Owen Wilson is in it. He really does steal the show, but it is basically this loser dude, Owen Wilson, whose best friend gets married, right? And Owen Wilson being a loser, he moves in with them right after they get married, and he just gets up to random shenanigans. He sets their house on fire. The husband works for his father-in-law, and the father-in-law hates him and tells him to get a vasectomy. It's just really standout movie.
Just a regular father-in-law thing to say.
Yeah. Anyway, You, Me, and BTC.
Yeah. Bradley, give us one. Just one. You don't have to do anything after that, but I want to know who you think is a standout actor or actress in a movie that you've seen.
So I've been trying to think, right? And every time I think of a movie where I think of a standout actor, it's like you guys are talking about with Joker. The movie is built around that character. So I feel like it's not fair to say like, oh, Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs. Like that was my first thought is that was a fantastic performance.
Love that movie.
But the movie's about that character.
Yeah.
So it's not fair to say. And then I'm like, okay, like what other great movies? Jack Nicholson in Psycho.
Oh.
Or The Shining.
The Shining.
The Shining.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of frickin'
You're thinking of
Anthony Perkins in Psycho. I don't know why I conflated those two movies.
Anthony Perkins?
He's Bates Motel dude. That's his name.
Oh, that's his name?
That's the actor's name.
Wait.
What?
The kid?
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates, yeah.
The movie Psycho?
Oh, you're like the
the
Alfred Hitchcock one.
Yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about. See,
You're talking about the old. I was
have a
thinking
list of
American
movies and I'm
Psycho.
mixing them up.
I was thinking of American Psycho.
Oh, no,
which
I
had
haven't even
Christian
seen that.
Bale. Which is
Fair point.
See that movie. That's an incredible
I'll
movie.
add to the list.
You add that.
How
to
about
watch
just Tim Roth in any of these freaking Tarantino movies?
Holy piss!
He
dude.
is never.
I love Tim Roth.
He's never like the, as far as I've seen,
Reservoir Dogs.
One of the like top 2 characters, but he's always top 5.
Yeah, Tim Roth is the dude in the diner.
Yeah, he's like he opens that movie
With Baby.
sets the tone of the entire movie. He closes it.
Honey
too.
Bun.
Honey Bun, yeah. And then
Honey Bunny.
frickin' and then Hateful Eight. He's got a great role too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I feel like I don't know if he steals the show because obviously every single one of those cats
Reservoir
is
Dogs, he
star-studded.
certainly stole the show, in my opinion.
I think I guess that's fair with Reservoir Dogs, but
I mean, he has the biggest role, though, in my
that's
opinion.
true. Well,
But there are a lot of
maybe
really
in
good
terms of, like,
actors in
time.
there, too.
that's my point. And we've talked about this with almost all of those movies.
All
Those
Tarantino films,
movies.
for sure.
Huge cast.
Yeah.
Star-studded.
Yeah, if we're talking about people who steal the show, there's one more character that I want to mention, and it's sort of a different one because it's a woman, but also because she's a supporting actress. She's not the starring role. I don't know if you've seen My Cousin Vinny, but it's this movie about these two guys, these two New York dudes, or they might not even be from New York, but they're these two northern dudes
Sounds like a New York movie,
who
My
are
Cousin Vinny.
arrested in Alabama for murder that they did not do. It was
Yeah.
a big misunderstanding. You know from the start of the movie, like, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But there was some car messing up and random shenanigans with that. And they call their cousin, they don't have any money, so they call their cousin Vinny, who is a New York guy, and he's Joe Pesci.
Oh, I love Joe Pesci.
Right, and he just got his law license. He has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Yeah.
His girlfriend comes down with him to Alabama, Marissa Tomei. And
Marissa Tomei.
she doesn't get that much screen time. But she steals it because just her personality, her standing out
Yeah.
as basically this woman, this Italian woman from New York in the deep, deep, deep South Alabama with her accent, her huge personality, and the role that she plays in the plot.
Yeah.
She eventually won Best Supporting Actress for that at the Academy Awards. Steals the show, in my opinion.
That's great.
Hey, Joe, do you think you could do like not an impersonation, like an impression of that accent? Just because I feel like a lot of our listeners probably haven't seen that. Could you just do a quick like impression of her Southern accent?
Well, it's not her Southern accent.
No,
She
she's
does
a New York Italian
accent.
woman. Which Joe's from New York, but now I want to hear
I want to hear Joe's New York accent, but I also want to hear the Southern accent. They're both good.
Yeah, give us a good Southern accent, Joe. We'd love
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna go to get the pizza. That's my New York accent. Yeah,
Joe, you're literally from New York.
Yeah.
Your regular talking
Yeah.
is a New York accent.
I'm gonna go get the bagels from the store. Okay.
Nah, you're doing it wrong, Joe.
No. Yeah. Okay. You wanna hear this?
Yeah. Joe's gonna spit on the mic.
You wanna hear the
right now.
Southern
Rap.
accent?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bradley's excited.
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna go to Alabama, go see the NASCAR racing. Hopefully see Dale Earnhardt Jr. We're gonna go get a 30 rack of a Busch Light, and then hopefully
pretty solid right
go
there.
to the store afterwards. Maybe go
You just
do a
went to the
5.
store to get the Busch Light.
Yeah, and it's just good times with the American flag and
Don't go too far, Joe. Don't go too far.
Fried chicken and barbecue and just no, because I'm talking the Zach Brown
Oh
song.
yeah, no, I'm sure you are.
Like the Zach Brown song where he's like chicken fried, cold beer on a Friday night, pair of jeans that
sure,
fit just right,
sure.
and the radio on.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you know that entire song, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Anyway,
actually do.
Anyway, I literally wasn't joking. So I got another one.
You got another one.
Siri, I don't give a shit.
Siri,
if
shut
you
the fuck up.
understand. Yeah, give her the finger, Bradley. That's fair. So I think back to the whole somebody stealing the show from everybody else type of thing. That was good with Joe with the Joe Pesci thing.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei. I would say there aren't very often movies that have like a huge star-studded cast, but the Tarantino one was a really good point. I think another one in particular is The Departed, which have either of you seen that? Okay. Departed is a classic like gangster type film where it's about the mob and a guy's going undercover as a cop to try and pull them out and everything. And that movie has Mark Wahlberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson, and I think there was somebody else super famous in it. Let me look it up while I'm...
sure.
Well, yeah, because you've never seen it. But the standout role in that one to me was Jack Nicholson. Which, for most people, that probably wouldn't seem like a total shocker because Jack Nicholson is just an incredible actor. Oh, Matt Damon's in it too. And Alec Baldwin. But there hadn't been... I mean, just think about it.
So
Jack,
all the A-listers, basically.
Yeah,
is
pretty
what you're
much.
saying.
But Jack Nicholson really hasn't been in any movies lately. He was bigger.
Well, he was the big golfer, right?
What do you mean? Oh, I hate Joe. I see what he did there, Bradley. You were trying to pull it away for half a second. But he was in that Bucket List movie with Morgan Freeman.
That was a good movie, dude. I liked that movie.
Yeah,
a lot.
he was in that. But besides that, I really haven't heard of much anything that he's been in lately. Now I'm going to look that up too.
Bucket List was great.
If you at home have any idea what Jack Nicholson has been in lately, don't tell me.
Not including golf.
Yeah, shut up, Joe. So obviously, he was the Joker at one point in Batman. One of my favorite movies, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Really loved that book.
Great book.
Thought it was a fantastic book. I thought the movie was just as good. There were only a couple scenes that were different than the book, but I thought they were great. Bucket List was 2007. Departed was 2006. Anger Management he did with Adam Sandler. But really, I'm not seeing much of anything else he's been in a while.
How old? He's got to be in his 70s now, right?
Oh, yeah, he's dirt old. He is 82.
All right, so think about this, though. You're an A-list actor, and you've made, let's say, $50 million, right? Your net worth is that. Why the fuck would you be in anything else?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I think literally the last thing that he was in was... Well, it says 2010. How do you know? And I'm Still Here actually had Joaquin Phoenix in it. But I don't think he's been in a movie for almost 10 years.
Yeah, Bucket List was a while ago. I remember watching that.
Yeah, Bucket List was 2007.
Yeah, I wasn't even in high school when I watched it. That was a great movie.
All cinematography.
Very sad.
What's really sad?
The Bucket List.
I actually never saw that. My who was it that really liked that? I think my dad really likes that movie.
Yeah, it's a movie dads would like.
Yeah, that's a dad thing.
It's a dad movie.
You a dad now, Joe?
No.
Yeah, he hasn't been in a movie. He hasn't been credited in any movie since 2010. So we're coming up on 10 years of Jack Nicholson not being in a movie. But he's still super famous and he gets invited to all these things. But what I'm saying is, with one of his last Hollywood roles, which was The Departed, I think that was his fourth to last film that he's been in, absolutely nailed it. There were a handful of things where I legitimately thought he was either a mobster or just a crazy person.
Yeah.
And again, that's a movie where Leo's in it. So you would think he'd be my favorite character, but he wasn't. There are some people in these roles that just absolutely steal it, even though there are technically better actors in it. Like, I think Leo's top 3 of the best actors of all time.
Leo's like Tom Brady. He's the Tom Brady of actors.
Yeah, exactly. Leo is the Tom Brady of acting. That's
like he's
totally
there,
fair.
you know, he's going to be in the awards or the championship season like every year.
Every year.
You know, it's not really a surprise. Mm-hmm. He's just always kind of there. They're around the same age. They're both
people love to hate him.
Yeah. And everyone realizes begrudgingly, like, yeah, they're like the best.
But when he's gone, you're going to miss him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't even think of younger actors that I would genuinely watch as many of the movies as I have of
Robert
Leo.
Pattinson.
Oh my God, Joe, we're not doing that. Yeah, you love Twilight, don't you?
I've never actually seen it.
I'm sure. Yeah, I bet you probably read all the books. You probably
never read
didn't
the books.
Yeah, All right, Joe. But I think one of the movies. So Bradley actually comes over to our place on Mondays, and we watch movies. We've been on a Tarantino kick as of right now. I think this coming up week we're doing Kill Bill.
Yes, sir. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Volume 1 and 2 probably because they're shorter, I think.
Are they? No, I think they're longer.
Are they? Are they short? Are they longer, Bradley? I could be wrong. Okay, that's fine. Do them in 2. But we just watched Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
The previous week, and we saw Joker this week, obviously, because we wanted to take a break from it.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Joker's coming out, and
of
it's
course,
prestige movie. Yeah.
But I think one of the movies that we'll have to add to the list eventually is Shutter Island.
I've heard that's the Matt Damon one, right?
No,
Leo.
that's Leo.
Okay.
Have you seen that, Bradley? Yeah. Fantastic movie. Like, I think Fight Club was one of the first movies to do one of those really deep, like, psychological...
Wasn't that with Matt Damon, too?
No, that was Brad Pitt, and that was... what's the other guy's name?
Edward Norton?
Yeah, Edward Norton. Who is apparently a total prick. Have you heard about that before?
Yeah, he sucks.
He apparently is like the worst actor in Hollywood to work with.
Yeah.
Like he thinks he's so hot, like a bunch of terrible things. Like that's why he isn't in that many roles lately, is he's just a prick.
The best actor to work with is Adam Sandler, I heard.
Really?
Yeah, because
he's just a funny dad.
Well, you sort of like go have fun on the set. His movies are shitty, but
of course, but everybody watches him still because it's Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and you just kind of hang around with Adam Sandler for like.
Speaking of which, Uncut Gems.
Yeah, that looks good.
That does look really good. The sports betting movie with Kevin Garnett, and then who else was in it?
Mike Francesa.
Yeah, Mike Francesa,
the sports talk radio host. Yeah.
But Shutter Island. To get back to that. Yeah. That's one of those movies where talking about Fight Club. Have you both seen Fight Club before?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, so the whole premise.
Don't give away the twist.
I'm going to. If they haven't seen this movie by now, it's like 25 years old. So the big thing about Fight Club is the entire movie, Edward Norton has created the character of Brad Pitt in his head.
You sure it's not the other way around?
No, it's Edward Norton. No, Joe, boo. which you don't find out to the very end of the movie, which I've seen a handful of movies do similar things now, but I think that was
That's
really
the first one.
Yeah, that was the originator.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. Like Shutter Island. Like, I think that was one of those types of things. And then in the Joker, there was a scene where something similar kind of happens.
Yeah. Don't give any more away.
No, I'm not giving any more away. But I just think that type of thing kind of forces whoever is in that role, okay, to steal the show.
Yeah, for sure.
So whoever it was that had to imagine that, quote unquote, the entire time, clearly steals the show, especially during that recognition moment, because then they go one of two ways, where they are like, man, I need help, or they just push through with the crazy, you know? But any movie I've ever seen where that type of thing happens, it's immediate right there that, like, that actor is the one. Like, that's kind of how I was tying it into the previous segment.
Yeah.
All right. Can you think of one more, Joe? And then we'll get to your hot take of the week.
Oh,
which
well, I can think of one more, but it's not going to be.
fans
It's
are
going to be a
excited
short
about.
one.
That's fine.
It's just sort of an obvious one.
Okay.
It's not a movie. It's a TV show, and it's a Michael Scott in The Office.
But there really weren't any other. Go ahead, Bradley. I want to hear what Bradley has to say.
You're saying that the character Michael Scott steals the show?
No, I'm saying the actor Steve Carell in the character of Michael Scott steals the show. And you can see this in that there are other characters. There's Dwight, there's Jim, there's Pam, who are sort of the other main characters that you're supposed to care about, right? But Michael is so important in that when he goes away, the show sucks. And that's how you know that Steve Carell made the show, with his comedy, with his improv. He improv so much of that, like some of the best parts of the show where he kisses Oscar, stuff like that. That was improv. That was just Steve Carell being Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And that sort of goes to show how important he was to the show, and how they tried to make The Office without him, and it didn't work. It sucked. So that's my defense for that choice.
Go ahead, Bradley. I want to hear this.
It's super hard for me to say Steve Carell steals the show. Obviously, he's super good, ridiculously funny, and the show centers around him. The Office is still a phenomenal show when he leaves. And I think that, to go a step further, I think, okay, well, all right, I don't know. So we're talking about, like, actors stealing the show, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can talk about characters stealing the show, because that's what I thought Joe was talking about when you said Michael Scott. So I'm wondering if the character of Dwight Schrute steals the show of The Office. Not necessarily for every season, but Dwight has just become a person to so many people.
Yeah.
Like, I more than any other character in that show, we think of Dwight as an actual person because he's so out there. He's so ridiculous. He's perfectly formed as a character.
Yeah.
I could watch, like, just highlights of Dwight Schrute all freaking day long. So I think it would be fair to say that the character of Dwight Schrute steals the show.
Played by Rainn Wilson. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, obviously Rainn Wilson's a tremendous actor, but I think it's his character that really, I don't know, makes the show special for me.
I see where you're coming from, Bradley. He's a great character, obviously. Nobody is like Dwight Schrute. No character will be like him. I mean, they try to make weird characters now in shows, and what the fuck, Big Bang Theory or terrible shows like that. Nobody will be like Dwight. The reason why I say Steve Carell steals it is because he is the only one who he makes every scene awkward. Dwight is a great supporting character, right? Michael is the one who sets everything up. He's the one who comes up with the shenanigans. Dwight is the guy who follows him around and, you know, makes it funnier. Michael's and Steve Carell's the one who makes it interesting in the first place. Dwight adds to it. Rainn Wilson adds to it. Steve Carell makes it.
I see where you're coming from.
They might do this for hours.
We could do this for hours. All right, this will be my last comment on this. I mean, So maybe this is just me personally, but I feel like if I were asked, hey, you could watch, an episode of The Office that doesn't have Michael, but that does have Dwight, or you could watch an episode that I can't remember which one I just said. The other way around.
Yeah.
I definitely
one that has
choose,
Michael but doesn't have Dwight.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I definitely watch the one that has Dwight. He's just a funny, ridiculous character, and I do think he can stand on his own, but I will let Joe have the final word.
Final word, and then we're moving on.
And I see what you're saying, Bradley. Obviously, I respect that a lot. Just kidding. Fuck you. But look at the best episodes of The Office.
Cursing at our guests.
Dinner Party, right? One of the best episodes. And the Dundies. Those are made great by Michael, not by Dwight.
I want Bradley to say something.
And that
mostly
is the last word with Joe.
Mostly because Bradley shook his head at Dinner Party.
Yeah, go ahead, Bradley.
And we're big on Dinner Party here, so I want to know what it is that made you shake your head on Dinner Party.
Dinner Party is great, but Dinner Party is like everyone's favorite.
Sure.
Everyone will say that Dinner Party is top 3. So
okay, all right.
Maybe I'm
wait.
Okay.
Before you go
All right.
forward, okay. We don't have to get hipster about this because when some things are universally great, it's understood. We don't have to say.
I'm not disputing that.
You're not disputing that?
No, that's why I just said like it's great, but I think I'm just trying to draw attention.
But it's everybody's favorite.
It is everyone's favorite. I'm trying to draw people's attention to some other episodes and obviously another character. That's what I've been talking about.
Sure.
That deserve a little more attention, and that even though they're also universally recognized, maybe even greater than we give them credit for.
Well, then what's your favorite episode?
Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is ridiculous, dude. Like when Dwight brings all the kids into the conference room, and frickin' like tells them the story of like I don't know, that fricked up German German folklore tale or whatever, and then he says like we're gonna make harvest dolls or whatever. It's just the whole thing. Yeah, obviously you have to see it, but it's ridiculous. It's Dwight at his best. The whole episode's super funny. You get views into like all the different characters' personal lives. Yeah. You realize how fricked up frickin' Meredith is.
Yeah, I love it.
With her kid. And the whole thing with like
you remember when
Stanley's
in the last
daughter?
season
Ridiculous.
with Meredith's son was the stripper?
So good.
Yeah, that was a great
minor
roundabout.
character.
Oh, for sure. Creed is definitely the best minor character though, in my opinion. All right, Bradley. One last hot take. Go ahead. You go ahead, Bradley.
Today, I will cede my hot take to Bradley.
Oh,
Joe, that is an honor, dude.
Wow. So here's the thing, everybody. Joe switched it up on us this week, and Bradley is going to give a hot take. So you might not know what this looks like, so I'm going to let you know what these people have expected thus far. Joe is a crazy person. Okay? Joe flips out when he gives his takes. Okay? I want you to give me an impassioned reason as to why this is your hot take. Because let's be clear, most people would agree that Creed is the best minor character. Okay? So whatever you're going to give me right now, give it with fervor and passion. Give it to me.
Creed's the worst character in The Office.
Jesus!
And here's why. Here's fucking why.
Here we go.
Creed, his character is so incoherent. There's utterly no rhyme or reason to who Creed is. Every time Creed is brought up, every time he's referenced, every time he shows up, it's just him doing something gross, saying something gross, or implying something super creepy or illegal about his past. But none of those things are connected to each other whatsoever. They're all just stupid, silly things that are designed to make us laugh and cringe. Also, frickin' I don't know I can't remember the dude's last name. It's Creed something. No, the actor? What's the actor's last name? Is it Creed Bratton? Yeah. He's not that good of an actor. His acting as Creed is just not that good. I can think of a few scenes in particular. The one that comes to mind is when they do that the opener with the lip sync. He's not that good as the frickin' guitarist for whatever that 60s song is they sing or they lip sync.
Yeah.
He's just not that freaking good. He comes up every once in a while. He comes up for 30 seconds, does something stupid. He's not that good of a character. I don't know why people love him that much. I really don't know. But I will say this. in everyone else's defense, he's the worst character of the best freaking sitcom ever. So he's got that going for him.
All right, Joe, you can't say anything to it. That is his hot take, and we have to respect it. As much as we hate it,
Let's just move on.
this is how it goes.
Can we just move on?
I think we're done here. I think we have to end on that point because that's a spicy one.
That's a spicy one.
That was wow.
That's spicier than some B-Dubs hot wings.
B-Dubs
Sponsor us, please.
No, yeah, please sponsor us, B-Dubs. We need the money. You know what? Just don't even give us money. Just give us free wings. Like, I don't care.
Like free wings for the show. Like 10 free wings a week.
Oh man, dude, I would cry
I'd kiss
if
you.
that. Well, all right. Joe
like the
said
logo.
he would
I'd kiss the logo.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he meant.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is going to be episode 5 of Is It Worth It?
Was it worth it?
What, the episode?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's for them to decide, not
Yeah.
me and you. I think Bradley thought it was worth it just so that he could get that hot take in.
Yeah.
But
you, Bradley.
All right, Joe. What is your handle on Twitter?
Check me out at JoeSetyon. Don't find me on Instagram.
You don't want anybody to find you, Bradley? All right, that's
Bradley doesn't have social media.
Yeah, Bradley lives in
off
the
the
closet. Yep.
Not that way.
Well, my Instagram handle is at Papa Ferguson, POPPAFERGUSON, and my Twitter is Ferg_the_first. Go ahead and follow us. Talk to us about the show too. I'm working on some social media stuff for the actual show itself, and might have some other pretty cool things coming up here in the future. But that's going to be it for us this week. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Say bye, Bradley.